An update on the storm we've been following, which now has a better chance of becoming the first tropical system of the season.
Manatee County is handing out sandbags in preparation for the weekend storm. I'll tell you where you can find them.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news, watching the tropics and the potential for heavy rainfall this weekend. Tonight, there are more showers showing up on radar here on the Suncoast.
Well, let's learn more about that tropical system and what we can expect tonight. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has our first alert forecast.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are watching a potential tropical depression and possibly even a tropical storm developing early out of the season. The official season of hurricane season starts June 1st, so not too far off, but we are seeing an explosion of storms down in the Western Caribbean. This is the system we're speaking of, and conditions are going to get a little bit more favorable for development late Friday and into early Saturday. And some good news in that we now see that the center, at least the GFS model, which had been putting the system very close to West Florida, is shifting off to the west or further away into the Gulf of Mexico. That's a good thing. The bad thing is, look at this. It's a poorly organized system at this point, and the center is right here. And you'll notice there's nothing to the west. It's all to the east, and this is a tremendous amount of rainfall here. So the closer it gets to us, the better chance of getting this heavy torrential downpour where we could see rainfall rates and rainfall amounts up to maybe 5 to 10 inches. But if that stays offshore, our rainfall amounts appear to be somewhere around 3 to 5 inches right now. It could be less. Even marches off a little bit further to the west. 90% chance developing. That usually signifies that this is going to be, again, classified as a tropical depression within the next 24 to 48 hours. It's 70% chance right now, and it can flare up. Once it moves over water, there's a chance it could explode right then and turn into a tropical depression. Right now, heavy rainfall around. One thing to note, that depression is, or that low pressure area is well away from us, and we're already starting to see tropical moisture come back into picture. Yesterday it was a little drier around town, but now things have really begun to rain in Venice, stretching off toward, again, just to the east of Osprey and I-75. Tacoma is starting to get some of this rain. It's all drifting very slowly to the west at 5 miles an hour. So you're expecting to see all this rain, and it could be as much as 2 to 3 inches. Some isolated areas kind of just roll off into the street and roadways. This one now has moved through Bayshore Gardens and now stretching out to the north end of Longboat Key, heading toward Cortez. In fact, it's over Cortez right now. We'll continue to move off toward Holmes Beach. Now, we'll have much more on the tropical system coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Manatee County residents are bracing for possible flooding this weekend. A handful of neighborhoods in the southern part of the county are prone to flooding.
But as this storm approaches, residents are still recovering from last year's devastation. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us to explain what the county is doing to help ease some of the community's fears. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, there's some feeling of anxiety here in Manatee County as the storm approaches. As you know, we're expecting some heavy rains and flooding. That's why here in Manatee County, they're handing out sandbags. But this is just happening in the southern part of the county for those neighborhoods that are prone to the flooding.
The water came up pretty quick.
This is what Ian Remelius's neighborhood looked like last August. A foot of water flooding into dozens of Center Lake homes. Fire crews sent in to rescue more than 40 families.
A few days later, the water receded.
Today, the neighborhood is filled with for sale signs. Giant pods still in driveways. Some families still not back in their homes after the devastation. And now another storm is on its way.
When this storm season hits, they don't know. It's almost a gamble.
The problem is there's a lake in the center of the neighborhood, Pierce Canal, that runs behind it, and a ditch in between Center Lake and a new neighborhood next door, Fiddler's Creek, which sits significantly higher than Center Lake.
They were kind of situated in the middle of all these bodies of water. And with the heavy rains within a short period of time, it couldn't, the flow just couldn't be contained.
County Commissioner Robin DiSabatino has since been pushing the county to fix things.
They monitored the ditch between Center Lake and Fiddlers to try to deepen that somewhat. You don't need to be an engineer to see that there's some areas that could be corrected with a berm built.
The county won't go that far until a new study that they've launched is complete.
that study will take some time.
Manatee County also considering a stormwater fee.
It would provide more funding to address and hopefully prevent some flooding.
For now, the County Public Works Department is focusing on what it can do today to prepare for the storm tomorrow.
They've gone out and trying to clean as many of the ditches and canals as possible, removing debris.
I'm told that Manatee County has already given away about 200 of these sandbags. They'll be here again tomorrow on Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. if you would like one. Now, they're hoping this is the last year that they'll have to shovel like this and fill up the bags by hand, because they have ordered some automated sandbagging machines that should arrive any day. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you. Working hard out there tonight. It's been a little more than a year now since the city of Sarasota approved the $1 billion quay development along the bayfront. Now that project is moving a step closer with this week's groundbreaking ceremony. The project will include up to 695 residential units along with office and commercial space. It represents a $1 billion investment from developer Greenpoint Communities based out of Jacksonville. It will go up in separate blocks, with the Ritz residential towers being the first part of the development. One city commissioner says this development will transform the bayfront over the next several years.
We're looking forward to having a project that fits into the community and that adds not only additional character to that space, but also brings a lot of good jobs to this area.
President of Greenpoint Community says he's looking for the end result to be a great complement to the city, connecting downtown and the waterfront.
New details tonight in a Northport homicide investigation. Charges have been dropped against one suspect, while another suspect is now behind bars. Police say 2 armed men tried to rob a home on Porto Chico Avenue in January. 19-year-old Trent Bartle Thomas was shot and killed. 21-year-old Dante Lamar Stanley Jr. was arrested days later in connection to his death, but all 7 charges against Stanley were dropped in February. Now police have a new man in custody. 22-year-old Tyreek Bell was arrested on Friday on Cumberland Road in Venice. Police had been searching for Bell for 3 weeks. He is now charged with homicide, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Sarasota Nursing Home agrees to pay $26,000 in fines and fees. This move comes after the state found the facility failed to notify the daughter of a resident that her mother's health was deteriorating. Beneva Lakes Healthcare and Rehabilitation will now be on the state's nursing home watch list until early 2020. The daughter says her mother was admitted for treatment of chronic ulcers on her legs. She hoped her mother's wounds would heal and that she'd get stronger. Instead, she died within a month. Discrepancies were also found during a survey, which included a review of the deaths of 3 residents, quote, who died unexpectedly at that facility.
New life for a nearly 100-year-old building in downtown Sarasota. It's one of those beautiful old buildings that was close to being knocked down, but not anymore. The owner of a successful Bay Area restaurant chain plans to open his 4th business in that building off of Fletcher Avenue, just east of 301 and north of Main. Nearby office workers say this building has been run down with big notices about code violations. The general contractor says after building a series of cookie-cutter restaurants, this is an unusual opportunity.
So this is a really cool project because we're saving a 1924 building. So we're saving the shell and renovating it pretty heavily to go back with a 2-story restaurant right downtown Sarasota. So pretty awesome.
Bavaro's Pizza should be open in early July, complete with a covered patio, fireplace, and wood-fired oven. Sounds pleasant.
I've heard that pizza's pretty good too. They have some stores up in the Tampa Bay area.
You wouldn't know though, really.
I haven't had it yet, but I will.
We'll have to check it out once it opens.
All right, ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. And Richard, you're calling this a moral victory on Wall Street.
Well, let's put it this way. When you're down 280 points and you finish with a loss of less than 80 points, that's a victory of some kind. I'd call it a moral victory. Indeed, that's what I'm calling it. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by 280 points at 11 o'clock this morning. That a response to the fact that the North Korean summit is simply postponed, if not in fact gone. In that event, we'll have to see. But let's keep in mind, we're closing in on the end of May. We did have 11 up days out of 13. We are on track with 4 trading days left to have the best month since January. And I mentioned 4 trading days. Do remember, next Monday being Memorial Day, all markets will be closed as well as banks. So keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at the numbers, and indeed they're a lot better than they were at 11 o'clock. There you see the Dow at 24,811.76, a loss of 75 points, exactly 0.3%. That on volume of 802 million shares. The NASDAQ, what in my business we call that flat, down 1.5 points, 0.02%, 7,424.43. That on volume of 1,950 million shares. The S&P right in the middle, down 0.2%, 5.5 points at 2,727.76. Best Buy, you know that company. Well, Best Buy unfortunately didn't live up to its name today. The stock fell 6.5% despite posting pretty good earnings. The reason, they refused to forecast what their earnings will look like for the balance of the year. They did say they had a slowdown in their online business. It did grow, but it grew by 12%. That compared to a growth of 22% in the same quarter the year before. Best Buy, by the way, has a 15% market share in electronics. A company by the name of Amazon.com has a 10% market share. So what they have to do is figure out how to increase their e-commerce business, because obviously that's the future. Brick and mortar, as we talk about all the time, seems to have some problems.
Right. Well, any news for us on Steinmart today?
Positive news. How do you like that? The
I'm
stock
so
has been struggling, but I know you like to go there, right? Stock was up by more than 10% today. Good news for a company based in Jacksonville.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, the latest 2018 hurricane forecast is out. We'll show you what kind of season we can expect, according to the hurricane experts.
And Bob Harrigan will be back with the latest on that tropical system that we've been following, plus why Obamacare rates are expected to go up next year. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Now to new developments in Washington. President Trump is pulling the plug on his high-stakes summit with Kim Jong-un. The president making that announcement less than 2 weeks before that sit-down meeting was set to take place in Singapore. In a letter to Kim, the president said his decision came after North Korea showed, quote, tremendous anger and open hostility. A North Korean official recently slammed Vice President Mike Pence as a political dummy for comments he recently made about the Libya model of a country getting rid of its nuclear weapons program. Despite the cancellation, President Trump is leaving the door open to future talks.
If and when Kim Jong-un chooses to engage in constructive dialogue and actions, I am waiting.
South Korea's President Moon was in Washington 2 days ago meeting with President Trump about the summit and said there was a 99.9% chance the meeting would happen. Today, President Moon said he's baffled that the meeting will not take place.
As Florida braces for heavy rains and potential flooding from a possible storm this weekend, weather officials say a slightly above average hurricane season could be on the way. If the storm fully develops, it will be named Alberto and be the first of the 10 to 16 named storms. Of those storms, 5 to 9 are predicted to reach hurricane status, including 1 to 4 major hurricanes. And just as a reminder, next Friday, June 1st, right here on ABC 7, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan hosting our hurricane special.
Been working hard on that. The whole weather team will be part of it. You'll have a call-in segment again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, again, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and it will be June 1st. So get ready for that. We're getting ready for some heavy rainfall. I want to let people know what's going to be happening with us. The biggest concern I think we'll have is flooding, obviously. The storm system itself will stay far enough off the coast, it looks like right now, that it shouldn't be a big windstorm for us, but it will still be breezy. Let's go to the maps to share what's happening right now. Just today alone, we saw one storm kick up, and Inglewood has already had nearly 2 inches of rainfall. So that's kind of the thing we're going to see over the next course of the several days, right on in through Sunday and possibly into Monday. Now, the Lakewood Ranch webcam showing fair weather cumulus clouds out there, a nice day and a nice afternoon, and then here it comes. Rain moving in, big storms firing up. The storms firing up down to our south are disassociated now. They're getting blown to the east of the actual low pressure, which is right over the Yucatan Peninsula. The chances of it developing have shot up to 90% in the next 5 days and 70% in the next 2 days. Right now, there's still a lot of dry air it's battling. On top of that, there's still quite a bit of shear in the atmosphere. We have a trough of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere over the Gulf of Mexico out here in the west. But look at this moisture streaming out ahead of it. This is already starting to fill up into the Florida Straits into South Florida and will be in place over our area as it pushes that dry air out. All that moisture in place means a good potential for some showers, thunderstorms, and the potential for some flooding issues over the next several days. All the rivers and streams are pretty much near bankful as far as their levels go. No flooding problems right now, but I think that is soon to change, especially after Saturday night. Tropical low stays west, at least the center of our area. However, the heavy rainfall still could have an impact on the west coast of Florida. Heavy rain still possible for us despite that presence of that low pressure now shifting a little bit further off to the west. Rain chances to stay high even after the system moves through. We may see some nice weather on Sunday for a little while, and then showers and storms will be back into the picture. This is the GFS forecast model showing it has now shifted. Yesterday at this time it was very close to central Florida, and now the latest run has it staying offshore and moving off toward Mobile, Alabama, possibly the panhandle of Florida. And some models are indicating that it may kind of linger around here for several days. You'll notice this line of showers here. That's the tropical moisture, which will stay in place right through Sunday and even into Monday. So chances for rain stay high. The forecast cones are not out yet, but this is pretty much where the cone is going to be, I do believe. We may be included in that cone of uncertainty if indeed this does develop, and I think it will by this time tomorrow. You can see what's happened, though. They've clustered up toward the panhandle of Florida all the way over to New Orleans. Now that's where the bulk of the models are projecting it goes. Some kind of loop it back out there in the western Gulf of Mexico. But regardless, as we've said all week long, it doesn't really matter where the low moves. As long as it is close enough to us, we're going to see the blow off and the heavy tropical moisture stay right over the state right through the weekend and into early next week. Already heavier weather moving up in through Cuba, and that's not even close to the center. So you get the picture. That's all going to be kind of drifting in our direction over the upcoming days. Heavy weather today. Now, a much different story than yesterday when we saw limited shower activity. This is heading toward downtown Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch. You're getting some heavy rain with some frequent lightning now, and that is again going to move in toward Siesta Key, also downtown Sarasota within the next half hour or so, as it's moving pretty slow to the west at 10 miles an hour. So for boaters tomorrow, scattered storms, even in the morning possible, but more numerous in the afternoon and evening. Seas will be running right around 2 feet. The 7-day forecast, well, there it is, calling for showers and storms tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening. 80% on Saturday, some of that heavy at times Saturday night. Even into Sunday, although Sunday could improve somewhat, I think we may see some heavier showers in the morning on Sunday. And then Memorial Day, 50% chance for scattered storms and partly cloudy skies anticipated at this time. That all depends on the future path and track of our low at this time. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Let's check first alert traffic. We're seeing a crash now in Bradenton at US 41 and Cortez Road. The two left lanes of US 41 South are blocked with emergency vehicles just before you get to Orlando Avenue. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, Obamacare rates are expected to go up next year. The premium for the standard Obamacare Silver plan is projected to jump an average of 15% in 2019. This change alone will cause premiums to be 10% higher because fewer healthy people will buy coverage, leaving insurers with a sicker and costlier group of policyholders. Coming up, how a street racing accident in Tampa killed a young mother and left her baby in critical condition tonight. Plus, a shocking road rage incident caught on camera. Those stories straight ahead.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Tonight, a toddler is fighting for her life in the hospital, and her 24-year-old mother is dead. Police say a teenager hit them while he was racing another driver in South Tampa. Jessica Reisinger of Jeromesville, Ohio, was pushing her 21-month-old daughter's stroller across Bayshore Boulevard yesterday when she was hit by a car and killed. The toddler is in critical condition. Witnesses say the woman was trying to get across the road when those two cars came speeding towards her. Investigators say a black Mustang struck the victims. The driver, 18-year-old Cameron Heron of Tampa, and his passenger, 20-year-old Tristan Heron, were arrested. A 17-year-old boy who was driving the other car was also arrested. Police say they were racing at the time.
I never want to see anything like that. And then you see the yellow tape and carrying a baby, you know, running a baby to an ambulance. Just crazy stuff you don't want to see.
And I came out here just to show my respect, to pay homage, and literally I said a short prayer, meditated, and thought about the young lady, because I ride my bike like these people.
Right now, there's no crosswalk in the section of Bayshore Boulevard where this accident happened, but police say the victims were attempting a lawful crossing at a pedestrian ramp at an intersection. Well, Philadelphia police are investigating a sledgehammer attack that was posted on YouTube. Surveillance video shows a red truck following an SUV into a parking lot. The truck driver then gets out and starts smashing the SUV's windows. A passenger in that SUV falls out at one point. That's when the attacker hits that person with a sledgehammer before breaking more windows. Police say they're now looking for both the victims and the perpetrator involved in this road rage incident.
This Hawaiian home is just one of many in danger. Cracks from volcanic fissures have opened up underneath it. The homeowners evacuated earlier this month. Meanwhile, these blue flames are coming from a different set of fissures on the island. When lava burns vegetation, it produces methane gas, causing this eerie glow. Coming up at 5:30, Bob Harrigan will be back with an update on the upcoming rain for the weekend. And at 5:32, how that weather has some tourists questioning their scheduled trips to the Suncoast. And at 5:36, an update on a project to expand Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. Those stories straight ahead.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
We are tapping our feet to a better, fitter body. I'm Joey Panic. On Suncoast View, it's National Tap Dance Day. We'll get a lesson and learn about the many benefits from exercise to mental and physical coordination. Comedian Carlos Mencia is bringing big laughs to McCurdy's Comedy Theater. We'll chat with him about this weekend's shows. Plus, Sarasota Moms blog brings us the best Suncoast summer camps, and Gold Brush Barbecue is in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.